Pre-game show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vital Ice Health. Early break with Sip and Jake.
I think almost everybody wants Frost to succeed, and that's what creates a lot of the discomfort.
But you want him to deserve the time to do it. Right? Give us, I want Frost to succeed, but I also want you to go deserve the time.
I understand
it takes to do so.
But the vast majority of the fan base wants this to work, right? And that's a lot of what creates a discomfort.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season. I hear ya. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show. So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win? Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience. Get your win too by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Areas of light rain will be possible late this morning into this afternoon, and it will be a cold day with a high of around 40. Winds will be light, somewhat variable. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to around 29. We'll mix in some sunshine tomorrow and warm up just a bit with a high of around 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights.
Okay, here's the deal with Nicole.
Live from Copple Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
She's just going to tell it like it is.
Nicole is, she's very wise.
Sometimes you're not going to like it.
Here is your host, Nicole Griffin.
Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for sticking along with us all day here at 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Nicole Griffith, and you have me and Big Sky in studio from 6 to 8 on The Ticket Weeknights. We want to hear from you on the text line or call in 402-464-5685. If you want to talk about Nebraska football, we're going to talk about it. But if you want to come and voice your thoughts, or if you don't want to talk about it and talk about anything else and you want to talk about it, just get off your chest, go ahead and call us. We'll take your calls. We have an exciting show ahead for you guys. Do we tell them who the two guests are right away?
I mean, you can, or you can just tease it with some superlatives.
What would the I can't say that word.
Superlatives?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Superlatives.
Would they also be wise?
No.
No, not all. Also,
one
not
of them
wise.
believes I'm wise.
One of them does. Yes, it's true.
So there's that, and then the other one.
Early risers for sure.
I would say that they sometimes are. Wow, you're really good at this. I'm not very good at this. Could you like flip their names? Jip and Sake.
Wouldn't it be Saki? Like blue?
Saki. My name is Saki. Yeah, so exciting show ahead for you guys. We have Jip and Saki coming. It's Sip and Jake coming in. They are joining me for my show. I originally started as a guest on an early break, and now we are flipping the tides. and the tables, the turns, the tides, and we are bringing them on my show. So you heard from Sip and Jake this morning from 6 to 8, and now they are coming in tonight in a little bit. Jake is right now on the radio with my hometown, Rapid City, South Dakota. He is talking on the Nate Brown Show about some sports, probably about the Dolphins sucking, and Sip is on his way. So we will talk to them in a little bit. Happer is not with us tonight. He is at women's basketball. They have an exhibition against Midland at PBA tonight. So if you're looking for something to do, you can go to that. It is not on TV, or to my knowledge, it's not on TV. But yeah, could go have some fun with that. Okay, how do we even start to process the onion that is Nebraska football?
Is this a moment where you're supposed to compartmentalize?
Compartmentalize. What other words can I not say?
Well, that was one I can't say.
You can't say that. We are going to try. How do you say it?
Compartmentalize.
I say what? Yeah, let's go on a tangent of words we don't say. Well, so at 10-11, I sometimes on TV it's hard for me to say words with R's in them, like burglary or brewery. When you're like reading it off the prompter, it doesn't come out right, and then people are like, she can't talk.
Do you have rhoticism?
I don't even know what that is.
It's you can't say words or you can't say R sounds.
I mean, I can say them. I just don't say them very well when I'm timed on TV.
I will say that.
How do you know what that word even is?
I watched a YouTube video on one of my many treks to Sioux Falls to see my ex-girlfriend
Oh.
about accents.
Your
in
girlfriend
the United
at
States.
the time.
Well, she's my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to clarify that you're
I
not
was-
going to Sioux Falls to
Yeah.
see your ex-girlfriend.
Right. We were dating at the time. Now
There-
she is my ex.
There we go.
Very, very crucial clarification there.
I just want to know. I ask questions for a living. So you listen to that?
Yeah, and the guy talked to. So a lot of the accents in the United States are rhotic accents, especially
Really?
in the Southeast. And rhoticism is one of the words that I learned, and it's you struggle with R sounds, and so there are some accents that just as an accent basically give you rhoticism because they just never do the R sound.
Interesting.
Yes,
Maybe I should.
it was a 2-part video. I think it was by Wired.
How long is it?
They were both like 30 minutes. That's
Oh.
why I watch them, because when I'm driving, I want really long videos.
Wait, you listen to them?
Yeah, well, okay. So I set my phone
You
on the
watch
dash.
it while you're driving?
There's not really a visual component to the video, so it wasn't distracting me
How do you know?
because I was staring at the road.
On I-29 North.
Yes.
Yep. Been there a time or two. How long have you been here today?
I got here at 5.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you've been processing Nebraska football since 1:00 this afternoon with every show.
No, I have class until about 5 o'clock every day, so I have to wait until I get done with class to come here.
What class do you have in the afternoon on Monday?
On Monday, photography, photojournalism.
Oh, are you good at that?
No, I'm there to graduate.
Do you
solely
guys-
to graduate.
Do you and Nick have classes together?
We do not. I only see Nick one time in passing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays,
Are you
or Mondays and Wednesdays.
in the same grade?
No, I am a year older than Nick.
Wiser. You're wise.
Some could say.
Someone could say that you're wise, like
Yes,
me.
Yes.
So, how did you consume the football game?
My dad actually came down from Montana, and we went to the game together.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, it was the only game he's an air ambulance pilot, and so
What is that?
he
flies
Yeah,
the helicopters to the.
not a helicopter, an actual plane.
Okay.
But his company has helicopters, and so he has a very
Oh,
specific.
duh! They're pilots. Your family is pilots.
Right,
I forgot.
and so
I'm sitting here amazed. that He's a pilot.
yes. So he doesn't have a lot of time off, and a lot of his days off have been ate up by big family events, because my brother just had his first kid, and so that
Boy or girl?
the girl, her name's Harper.
Aw.
So Harper has been the object of our family's fascination.
Are you the youngest?
I am the youngest.
And you're no longer the youngest because now you have a niece.
I was always the black sheep, but
Aw.
that's tea for another day.
Okay.
So my dad came down because it was the only game he was going to be able to make it to this year, if he was going to make it to any. He came down. and we got to the game 3 minutes late because I was here for the pregame.
3 minutes late start time.
Right.
Okay.
So we missed the first Nebraska series and caught the very last play of the Purdue series. So didn't miss much because it was 0-0 when we got there. And then we left with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Maybe 9.
You were one of the few that left.
We were.
How did you decide? How did you process? First of all, where'd you sit?
We were on the east side.
So did you have the sun or not have the sun?
So we were underneath part of that newer construction.
Okay.
So we were in the shade, but we would have been in the sun if we'd been maybe 10 rows lower.
Okay.
We were on the east side, southeastern-ish corner.
Because Kevin was shooting opposite me, and he's like, I don't need a jacket. And I was on the other side where it was shaded. And I was like, I'm a little cold, but
well, I
we
almost
flip. Yeah, we flip every quarter, so it's fine.
There you go. But I was wearing a sweatshirt, and I almost didn't bring the sweatshirt, thinking I would be in the sun. So fortunately, I took the sweatshirt, or else I would have been freezing.
And you have to buy another sweatshirt.
No, I'm not one of those people.
Okay, fine.
I would have just toughed it out. And then we just decided at the fourth quarter, I think Purdue went up 2 scores, and my dad asked me, he's like, "Do you want to go?"
Oh, he put the ball in your court.
Right. And he was right. He said, "Let's go. Do you want to go?"
Okay.
And I said, "Let's give Nebraska one more offensive series," and then they went 3 and out, and we left.
Well, what?
And then we went to Dune, which is an amazing movie. Nick, you should go to Dune this Thursday for your movie review. I don't know if you're actually doing those or if you can hear me right now, but Dune is a great movie.
He wasn't listening. He was very in the zone. Nick, go to Dune.
The movie Dune. It's fantastic.
There he goes. Okay, he's coming on. Here we go.
I think I'm going there with a buddy on Thursday. Actually,
for your movie review.
We're not doing the movie reviews. I kind of hope not.
Why?
Well, you would give a great review to Dune because it's amazing. Make sure. Are you going to the one downtown?
Yeah, as long as I get, it's the $5.
Oh,
as long as we get there.
I
Don't laugh at that, Nicole.
I'm not laughing. Just the way you said it.
Are you in the same boat as we are?
I very much enjoy a deal, but you
Perfect.
just said, "Is that the $5 one?"
Well, I know that isn't it Tuesdays and Thursdays you can go for $5 now?
I know Tuesdays for sure is $5.
Oh, then we might be going Tuesday.
But if you can choose, try and get into the ultra widescreen DLX theater with the Dolby Atmos sound.
You are a nerd.
Do we always?
No, this is it is very specific because the score of that movie is fantastic, and then with the upper or the next level of surround sound that they have in that theater, that specific auditorium, it's amazing.
I don't think I have. No, I have. I've only been to a theater like once in the past 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not a big movie theater guy.
I like movies. I just haven't.
They're
been
so
to
expensive.
Them. They're not. It's not that because they're expensive.
That's my whole thing. Is why not? I go for the popcorn.
Popcorn's expensive.
Yes, but you can argue that there's a way to get a deal when you buy the large one, and then you just get one free refill.
I will say that my father.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Good job.
Do you? Oh, I was gonna say, do you want me to get off now?
No, keep talking.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing that I struggle with radio,
yeah,
is having verbal responses to everything.
Oh, interesting.
Because I can see you, and I feel like we're making
yeah, we're all good.
But sometimes I just don't verbally respond.
That makes sense.
And then it just kind of, to the viewers, listeners, it just sounds like
an awkward transition.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
we've already thumbs up back here. So.
Oh yeah, no, we're all good. This is the first time you and I have been on the air together.
I think we should have a show, but you're never around.
Well, I'm around here, and I figured why not? I'll say hello.
Not that I don't want to do a show with Big Sky.
Yeah, this is awkward. I'm going to excuse myself from the situation.
I just think Nick and Nicole sounds like a cool show.
All right, sounds good.
Awkward pause.
No. I'm all for it. I just don't want to step on any Big Sky Montana toes here.
That's true. More the merrier.
Are you okay, Big Sky?
I am perfectly fine. She's said this in my presence multiple times.
Every time I see Nick, I'm like, Nick and Nicole, what do we think? And he just kind of says, I'm going to go grill my salmon. And then he leaves.
That's not what I'm having for dinner tonight, unfortunately.
But it's what you always say.
It is usually, that's usually a very popular meal on Monday evenings. It is a salmon.
Not tonight.
Big Sky, I saw you had soup over here. What was? No, it's frozen pizza tonight. What did you have?
I had chicken and wild rice, and I ate it with a fork because we have no spoons at the station anymore.
Oh, that very well could be my fault. My bad.
Bring in your own silverware.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have time to pack because for starters, on Mondays, I have to have everything ready to go when I leave my apartment at 10 because I will not make it back for the rest of the day
until after
after I'm done with the station.
Yeah. Can I ask what we're talking about tonight?
No, because I already discussed it.
What do you think we are talking about on a Monday following a Husker loss?
It's got to be Husker football. Any cool guests? I know you're usually a big guest person.
Oh,
you have
am I?
Very important guests.
We have Jip and Saki joining us. So that is the nighttime. Nick's gone. He's taking a phone call.
I mean, I made him do it. I clicked the button to make him do it.
To do what?
Answer the phone.
How did you do that?
Because we have it in here.
All right. We have Jason on the Honda of Lincoln hotline.
Jason.
Hey guys.
What's up,
Am I
Jason?
on?
Hello, we can hear you.
Hey. Okay. I got to ask what you think the record will be the rest of the way for the Huskers. And also, it seems like a silly question, but, we don't get to go to practice like the media.
Ooh.
So, and I know they don't let the media watch every practice and all that, but they let the media in sometimes or to the press conferences. Yeah. I always wondered how many people, and you guys are journalism students. Nicole, you work in journalism and on the radio, so you would have a pretty good idea on this. All of you guys would. Roughly how many people cover like a practice? Is there 15 reporters and bloggers and recruiting analysts, or is there 50? Or I just always wonder what that's like, when they do have availabilities at practice, and you never really hear about that. You just say, oh, there's tons of media. People say there's tons of media that cover Nebraska. I just was curious. I'll just listen off the air. Good show, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question. So, there were 3 questions. So, record for the year. Do we go to team practices? What does the team look like? And then how many people kind of cover these practices? So I will go on record saying that I think this team is going to finish 3-9. I don't want that to be the record, but that is what it's going to be, because just the way history has proven itself that this team has not successfully won games. Nick, you're being distracting. Big Sky, go ahead.
Well, I predicted 3-9 before the season started, so
that's also correct.
I'm just gonna stick with that. Oh, Nick doesn't want to be on anymore, I guess.
One of our guests just entered, so
I'm sorry. Okay, Nicole, 1 second before I'll answer the questions. I don't get to see Sip very often since I got moved to the afternoons. So when I get to see Sip, it's cool to catch up.
Sip's not here yet.
You're right.
So I need you to answer the question.
Unfortunately, not hearing what you guys said, I think Nebraska is going to finish 3-9. Unfortunately, you don't want it, but it's hard to think of a way that this team will be able to bounce back. And with the teams that they're playing, Wisconsin's really turning the corner. Seems like their defense is really picking up. And then Iowa's just Iowa. Nebraska against history. Nebraska can't beat Iowa, unfortunately.
So we have Ohio State coming this weekend. Big noon kickoff at 11. I think Ohio State is just too talented for Nebraska to beat. Nebraska hasn't proven that they can win on the road. And, they have won on the road, but they haven't proven that they can go out there and win on the road a lot. And then also Iowa has their number. So I don't believe that they will beat Iowa, unfortunately. Team practices. That is a good question. So we only get to see 2 practices a year, and we only get to shoot them. Well, so like the bloggers and the beat reporters, they can watch and take video on their phones. TV reporters, we're shooting the practice. So it's kind of hard to see. We're focusing on different players doing different drills, and we only get 20 minutes running clock to do that. So it's kind of a mad scramble. And then we don't get to see them for the rest of the year, unless they have those open practices and those open camps. We can go to those, but it's really hard to see how this team, what they do for practice, because it's pretty closed, behind closed doors. And then how many people cover Nebraska's practices and games. I feel like I see a lot more people at the games than I do at practices. But the regular group that is like the press conferences throughout the week, I'd say there's easily 15 to 25 people, depending on the day, because different outlets take different, like, so 10-11 will send 1 to 3 people each time. The ticket will send 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Like, everyone has, it's a lot. I know you're like looking for a number, but it could be. And then for game days, there's like 40, 50 people covering the team.
Well, and all I'll say is, I mean, when the NCAA investigation came out, that they were being investigated that day at media availability, there were a lot more people than normal. So I think it also depends on what's going on. So, who knows? After Ohio State, there could be quite a few people. After Iowa, there could be even more people.
Like on the Frost watch?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Because you don't know if national outlets might send people.
That's true. And then also, it can also drop off as if people are not really caring as much, but that's not the case because it's Nebraska football. So thanks for the call, Jason. We appreciate it. You can go ahead and text in or call in at 464-5685. This is the Ticket Weeknights with Nicole Griffith. We are going to take a break right now. And on the other side of this break are two of my favorite people. Don't let them hear that because they'll get a big head. But it is Sip and Jake after this.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's Fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. So where do we go from here after Saturday's disappointing loss to the hands of Purdue? Players like JoJo Dolman are still searching for answers.
I don't know, man. This hurts. Hard to put into words right now. Honestly, I need to sleep on this. It's play to win the game. You know, you've seen the guy kept here say it. Like, that's why we out there. It hurts. I'm in pain right now. I don't really have the words to describe it other than that.
And still, over 85,000 people were in Memorial Stadium for the game on Saturday to watch now the 3-6 Huskers. Head coach Scott Frost says he feels the fans' pain.
I'm grateful to the fans. I'm grateful for an opportunity to coach my alma mater. I'm impatient to have these games turn out a different way. I'm grateful to the fan base. I was just as frustrated as them in the second half.
Huskers are now set to play Ohio State at 11 a.m. Saturday on Fox. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Areas of light rain will be possible late this morning into this afternoon, and it will be a cold day with a high of around 40. Winds will be light, somewhat variable. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to around 29. We'll mix in some sunshine tomorrow and warm up just a bit with a high of around 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome back into The Ticket Weeknights. I'm Nicole Griffith. I am extremely happy and cheerful, not because I had a cold brew in Captain Morgan before I came in, but because I have my two favoriteest guests in here. So I don't recommend Captain and cold brew, but sometimes, what is it, week 9 of football? Sometimes you have to do it. So I am happy to bring in to my show Sip and Jake. Guys, good evening.
Hello. Good to be here. Thanks for having us. This is not normal time for us. Usually it's 12 hours before this, actually, or I guess 11 hours before this.
Well, now you know the sacrifices I went through to be on your morning show.
Is this true about Captain Morgan and cold brew? What is cold brew, by the way?
It is a type of caffeine that it's like thicker than coffee.
And you put Captain Morgan in there?
I am now doing that, yes.
No.
I would have taken a sample, but you didn't bring any.
I was laying there and I was like, well, I had the day off. I was doing laundry and cleaning and doing dishes and whatever. And then I was like,
that's beautiful.
I know. I laid down and I was like, I have to go on the radio in an hour and talk about a 3-6 football team.
You don't have to. Talk other stuff. It's fine.
So I poured me some cold brew, and then I may have put some Captain in it. So
that's wonderful.
You mean you poured some Captain and then some cold brew into it, right?
And
that's
then
how it's supposed to be.
I had a dance party in the kitchen, and I was like, we're going to get hyped up. Sip and Jake are coming on the show. And everyone in Husker Nation is doing really well right now.
Let's get hyped up. Now I want to say hi to Big Sky, too. Hello, Big Sky. Jake, I don't
see you at these hours very often. This is not
odd.
comfortable. Usually I start my day. The first person I see is Sip in the morning.
That is
no, it's your wife.
Well, it's the dark. I can't see her in the dark. No, I really don't see her at all.
That is
the first person I see is Sip or Harrison. And it used to be Big Sky before that, but he's graduated.
And then I stole him. Hee.
Yeah, you stole
Harrison. Big Sky, don't go anywhere. You're coming back to the morning show if Harrison's ever gone.
Is that right? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, he told me. Big Sky told me if Harrison's ever not available, we could contact him and he will come in and do the morning show.
Who is Harrison?
He's our new EP.
Jake had the opportunity to have me come back and be the EP for a little while, and he did not ask me to.
I thought you were done with us. I thought you moved on. I thought
I told you
yourself.
that. I told you that before I was done on early break that I would come back anytime, and then you just didn't do it. So I had to double down.
There's some controversy.
Now he's on my show.
I just assumed things. You shouldn't assume things ever.
Did you guys think, not to be conceited?
Yes.
That's a way to start a sentence.
What did you want me? Did you guys think that you would ever be here on my show?
I've been on your show.
No, but both of you
Yeah.
bringing the gang back together. I used to be on your show, and
You're
then
still invited on our show, by the way.
I will not ever be coming on your show again.
Okay.
Why is that?
It's too early.
I think we did something that
I literally
made her mad.
sleep past Happer's show. I wake up and
Wake
I'm
up
like,
past 11 o'clock. Okay, I'm not. I was not judged. That was not judgment. I just asked it in a poor tone, probably.
No, this is I mean, me and Jake are honored, obviously.
We are honored, yeah. And I would have come on earlier in the year, but I had golf league, and that's my excuse.
"What's your no?"
He's been here. He has been.
He was
here.
here for my first show.
I know. I wasn't invited.
Him and
I
John
also,
Cook.
Yeah, that's huge.
Sipping John Cook in the
That's
same
huge.
sentence.
That's huge.
Anyways, okay,
All right.
guys.
What do you want to talk about, Nicole?
What do we got?
Well, I did listen. I listened to the podcast, your podcast this morning. I wanted to see the vibe Jake was in. I didn't know if he was going to be like jump off a bridge, Jake, or if he was.
What is my vibe? You think?
I thought it was very even today. I mean, I thought he was very under control. It's fun.
This is where I'm at. I'm defeated. I'm a Dolphins fan that is defeated. I watch Nebraska football. I'm defeated. Like I don't have reason to yell anymore because I'm just yelling into the wind, and the wind keeps laughing at me. That's what happens here. The more I yell, the more I get laughed at by the wind and other people. Like today, Jay Foreman, former Bills player, Bills fan, just comes in, said, "Hey, nice game this weekend." I said, "I don't even care anymore, man. I don't even care."
You do though. You do.
It does stab me every
He
time. they
cares
lose.
so much.
You care.
I just
It
have to
hurts.
play it off like I don't, though, even though I'm fighting off
No,
tears
no,
inside.
I would say Jake was really professional this morning.
Good.
Yeah.
When have I not been professional? Was there a time?
No, not real. No.
Maybe listeners can point out a time.
I mean, I'm more
unprofessional.
apt to be unprofessional than Jake.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're nodding your
Yeah,
head.
surly, a little surly. But not really.
It's been a
recently.
while.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks or so. But yeah, no, Jake was fine.
What was your immediate reaction when you saw Nebraska's lackluster performance, I guess? So I'm shooting the games, right? I don't really get to process the games. I feel like that is one thing that people don't really realize. And I will always call like Kevin for home games, I don't have to call him, he's there, but I'll just be like, how bad was it? I wasn't looking. I was shooting a certain way. I'm looking just at the ball. From your guys' perspective, you were there.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to be there.
I was at the game.
I don't know why I didn't think you were there.
I left with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
You and
no,
Big Sky
no,
in
not
half
because
of Memorial Stadium.
I left because I had to go to Tanner's for the post-game
I'm
show.
still
That's
saying
why
you
I
left.
I would not have left early. I never leave games early. I don't do that.
You just did.
I mock the people that leave early.
You left early.
He doesn't leave early.
I left because I had to. I had to beat the traffic and get to Tanner's to set up the post-game show.
How was the traffic 10 minutes out?
It was fine. It was actually great.
Because there was a lot of people leaving.
I told Sip I was shocked. I left the game with like 10:05 to go, and the concourse below was pretty busy of fans exiting. And I get outside. I'm like, there's a lot of fans that are just walking away from the stadium with 10 minutes to go. Anything can happen. They knew what was going to happen. I guess you're down by 11 at that point, but still, you can come back from that.
That's only 2 scores.
Right.
And they had a chance. They had a chance. The onside kick, which went in between the hands of Cam Taylor-Britt somehow. But here we are, 3-6.
Yeah, that's a big part of that day, and it's a big story that many people left. It shows a lack of confidence in what's going on. I mean, it really does. There's no way to pussyfoot around that conversation. There really isn't.
I don't even know what phrase that was.
Jake,
it's an old school phrase. Yeah. I've checked. It is radio legal. It's questionable, but
no, it's not questionable. Big Sky, arbitrate.
He's younger than me.
Arbitrate.
Well, he's an old soul.
Arbitrate on the air.
I'm not saying it was I've never heard it.
That's amazing. Ask your dad tonight.
One time my dad said smorgasbord, and I
That's a
said,
word.
huh?
Yeah.
Smorgasbord's a word.
And then he looked at my mom and she goes, just don't.
We have an arbiter here.
Yeah, we have an arbiter.
Asking me to arbitrate was not the right call because I am an 80-year-old man at heart.
Yeah,
and
he's an
I
old man.
have heard and used the phrase "pussyfoot" multiple
Thank you.
times.
I have
you.
never heard that
Thank
phrase.
you.
Oh.
Thank you.
What is it?
Listen, I said it was
Like, if you're-
okay
What does it mean?
Well, I
mess
think
around.
No, I think it means like, yeah,
To mess around.
yeah,
To
or
mess is
dance
to
around,
pussyfoot.
dance around.
She's just laughing.
Beat around the bush,
Yeah,
perhaps?
Much better.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's enough.
Anyways,
That's enough.
back the ticket weeknights.
Yes.
6 and 8 p.m. with Sippin' Jippin' Saki. Those are your
Chip
guys'
and Saki.
names.
Is that what we call us now?
Sip and Jake.
Is that the Captain Morgan kicking in over there or what?
No, it's the cold brew. It's getting me.
Oh, okay.
I'll fire it up. So, okay, my original question was, what was going through your mind seeing this kind of performance off a bye at home in a must-win game?
Oh. I mean, there's a couple discussions here. The defense wasn't awful. I mean, the defense played well enough to win. I mean, it was far from awful. It's more of an offense discussion. It's more of an Adrian Martinez discussion. I was startled by what I saw from Adrian, bye week or no bye week.
Does this have to do with his quote unquote, and I'm not trying to be unsympathetic, or to his injuries?
I think he's okay. I don't think you can play that card this time. I think you could play that card against Minnesota.
Okay.
But I think the bye week he got right enough, and enough to where you can't use it as an excuse.
This is where I'm at with Adrian on this. Think about years past where he has ran the ball very, it was very, I'm not going to say very good, but he's ran it very well. He's had a lot of success. He's looked like a gazelle out there, and it's a compliment. But then he's had an injury. Think about his first year. He got banged up against Michigan that game, and he never was the same. He had a good end of the year, but he looked kind of weird for a couple games. Second year, got hurt early on. Wasn't the same guy we saw his freshman year because every time he gets some sort of injury, he doesn't come back as the same guy. So I wonder, again, Scott Frost said he was back at full health in the bye week. He said, when he came back that he's full health. I just wonder if part of that mentality of, oh gosh, I got hurt again, I don't trust myself, came back with Adrian. I'm not trying to speak for him and say that's what happened, but we have seen him get hurt with leg stuff in the past, and just even if he was thought to be healthy, never really trusts himself. We never saw running on Saturday be a really game changer for him, right?
Jake, now that was not the issue, though. I understand where you're going, but
you understand what I'm saying with that?
I sure do. But this was This was 4 interceptions.
Oh yeah,
and he could have thrown 5. I mean, he had one bounce off a guy's face mask. I mean, so
it was bad. That was a bad drop by that guy, by the way.
Yeah,
I shot that really well.
Did
I was
you?
like, I would have.
Did you have that?
So I shot Purdue side. So I usually, when I shoot home games, I shoot Nebraska coming. So it's like we have 3 cameras there. Just a little TV knowledge for you. Up top, level 6, level 7, and then 1 on each side. So I usually shoot home Nebraska coming towards me. We mixed it up. Kevin came, he shot down low, and I just said, we're just gonna mix everything up, and I'm gonna take the home side, the Purdue side.
So, okay.
And then
how was level 7 in November when it's 10 degrees outside and
I haven't been up there yet, so I'm always down low. So
I want to hear a report on that when it happens. I hope for your sake you don't have to go through that weather, but it is November and weird things happen.
Okay.
So yeah, in totality,
I shot that. If he would have caught it, would have been really an unfortunate pick 6, but I had a really good angle on
that. Would have been good. I didn't think Nebraska played a terrible game outside of Adrian.
What
was your quarterback?
What kind of saying is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to do that. I don't like to say that about Adrian Martinez, but I'm his biggest defender, so I have some leeway here.
See, Big Sky perked up when you said that.
Yeah,
his biggest defender. What?
Oh, are you his biggest defender? Are we?
I thought you didn't like Adrian. Get on the mic.
No,
I thought he didn't like.
This is what Big Sky does. He puts the mic
Big
really
Sky.
high up.
I can't have it blocking Jake on the camera.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can block.
Wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Now I'm seen. We're good.
I'm easily Adrian's biggest defender because I live with the biggest Adrian hater.
Okay.
So it's 24/7. I'm in Adrian's court defending
Thank
him.
you.
But you're a Frost hater, though.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, gotcha. I got my haters
Hello.
mixed up here.
Hello, Big Sky.
Wait, you're a Frost hater?
I'm not big on Coach Frost.
I feel like, are you one or the other?
Not necessarily, no.
It does seem like there is a large majority of people that are, though.
Oh, I don't know. Now that's, I don't know.
That or what? But split on both of that? Like they're a Adrian supporter but a Frost hater?
No. Oh,
I would say that I don't think it's so much so that you are an Adrian defender and a Frost hater, but I think it's definitely if you're a Frost defender, you're an Adrian hater.
Okay.
Because you push the blame for these losses
Okay.
onto Adrian, and so you can defend Frost easier.
Well, here's the thing about Adrian. I don't know how often we have this conversation. Well, I guess we do now, but you got to be fair to Adrian in this. He had basically 2 interceptions going into that game this year. He threw one against Oklahoma that was a, it was like
crazy pick.
Yeah.
DJ Graham helped Nebraska out actually.
So he had essentially doubled it. I mean, you see what I'm saying? He had 4, and he only had 2 going in. He hasn't been a disaster. He hasn't been anywhere close to a disaster, but he was a disaster Saturday. Right.
Well, in a game that we've said all week, you can't lose that game. If you want to have any aspirations of going to a bowl game, they were bleak trying to win 2 of 3 in November if you won that game at 4-5 going in. But now, obviously, it's bleaker than bleak.
Well, Jake, you made a great point this morning. So what happens with this team is when they plug one hole, there's another leak that springs. And this week it was Adrian. We haven't seen
And
that.
how does that happen coming off a bye?
I mean, that's a decent question.
Oh, it's decent.
That's a good question.
It doesn't matter. It just
I don't know that matters that much in that conversation.
I think Adrian had, again, the pick 6 was poor. And
think about him individually.
The second half, he was worse than the first half, right? He had the pick 6 in the first half, which was bad, and the almost pick 6. But the real problems came in the second half. You were still up at halftime, right? 17-14. He wasn't a huge problem at that point.
No,
again, the pick 6 was terrible.
Right.
But we talked about that Toure play at the end of the first half, where was it Adrian's fault? Was it Toure's fault? Was it both their fault? I thought, glancing at it right away, it was on Toure for not extending his arms, but people kept saying, oh, Adrian could have put a better throw in it. Whatever you think. Adrian, at halftime, but despite the pick 6, was doing enough to win the game.
Yeah.
The second half was the undoing of him and the team.
Particularly when they're up 17-14. And what happened, Nicole? Think about it. They Ramir Johnson got a 10-yard gain on a speed option left. They got down to the Purdue 34. It's 1st and 10 at the Purdue 34. But what happens? Holding call. Matt Siechterman. So there's a holding call that negates that play. And on the very next play is when he got picked on the pitch forward. And that was trouble because Nebraska was up 17-14, had a chance to take control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's when you said they need to take control.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So
I did. That's exactly what I was saying.
There was only 3 rushes in this game for over 10 yards
for Nebraska.
Just thought I would.
Nebraska has relied on the legs of Adrian for a lot of these games, and that's why if you're an Adrian supporter, that's the guy you say, well, help him out, help the guy out, get Ramir Johnson going, or get Morrison going, or Step.
What happened to Step?
Yant had a nice run in this game. They got down to the 1-yard line. They scored later on.
Yeah. We didn't talk about him this morning.
He didn't even play the second half, did he?
Well,
here's what happened.
Scott was asked about him.
Yeah.
Because when it gets down to like in the red zone, like why don't you put it in the big guy's hands? And he say something like not talent, the like playmaking isn't there. Or he didn't know the plays very well, is what it came off as.
Well, he's gone the wrong way before this year against Michigan. He's tripped on the 1-yard line against Minnesota.
How can you go the wrong way? You go straight. You have to go into the end zone. That's what you do. If I should be a coach, I would make the most sarcastic plays. Go straight.
No, now
come on, Jake.
I'd be curious how that'd be received
by
the team.
They're 3 and 6. Okay, just cut it loose, Frost. The most sarcastic plays here on out. Have some fun.
Just smoke a cigarette, drink a glass of scotch. Say, just do it. Just go. Just do what you got to do.
Why didn't they run the ball better in the second half? I don't know. They didn't. I mean, part of it was limited opportunities. That was part of it.
I believe Big Sky is trying to get your attention here, Nicole.
We got it. Don't worry about it.
I'm just making sure.
Finish your thoughts.
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay, we're going to take a break, is what he was saying.
Yeah, break.
And we will have more with Sip and Jake after this.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Areas of light rain will be possible late this morning into this afternoon, and it will be a cold day with a high of around 40. Winds will be light, somewhat variable. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to around 29. We'll mix in some sunshine tomorrow and warm up just a bit with a high of around 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. So where do we go from here after Saturday's disappointing loss to the hands of Purdue? Players like JoJo Dolman are still searching for answers.
I don't know, man. This hurts. Hard to put into words right now. Honestly, I need to sleep on this. It's play to win the game. You know, you've seen the guy kept here say it. Like, that's why we out there. It hurts. I'm in pain right now. I don't really have the words to describe it other than that.
And still, over 85,000 people were in Memorial Stadium for the game on Saturday to watch now the 3-6 Huskers. Head coach Scott Frost says he feels the fans' pain.
I'm grateful to the fans. I'm grateful for an opportunity to coach my alma mater. I'm impatient to have these games turn out a different way. I'm grateful to the fan base. I was just as frustrated as them in the second half.
Huskers are now set to play Ohio State at 11 a.m. Saturday on Fox. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I think almost everybody wants Frost to succeed, and that's what creates a lot of the discomfort.
But you want him to deserve the time to do it. Right? Give us, I want Frost to succeed, but I also want you to go deserve the time.
I understand
it takes to do so.
But the vast majority of the fan base wants this to work, right? And that's a lot of what creates a discomfort.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win too by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome in. Welcome back. For those listening, for those new listening, welcome in and welcome back. Stop laughing. I haven't gotten to you yet. Nicole Griffith here on Ticket Weeknights. Stop.
I'm not laughing.
I am with Big Sky.
Hey, Nicole, how are you doing?
Hey, good. That's so nice. Stop giggling, you two.
We're not.
I didn't giggle. What are you talking about?
I am also joined with radio newbies, Sip and Jake.
Yes.
It
First
is
time ever on
well
radio.
past their bedtimes.
We're back here at 5:45.
Ayo.
And lock in.
Yeah, we're locked.
I got the coffee already brewed for tomorrow.
Thank you,
We're fine.
Jake.
We'll get
Thank you
fresh
for
coffee when you get here.
And you know what you should put in that coffee?
Oh, a little captain.
Captain Morgan sponsors this show.
She told me
He actually doesn't.
She
but-
told me before the show she's never had Bailey's before.
Is that right?
I can't believe that. It's like maybe the
Surprising.
tastiest
So-
might be the tastiest alcohol that exists.
If anyone knows Jake well,
Mhm.
I think I fall under that category. You and maybe the listeners, you fall under the level of extremes. He is.
What's extreme about what I just said, though?
She doesn't like this.
I didn't say you didn't like it. You said you never had it before.
And he's always like, "What do
You
you
got
mean?
it.
This is the best. This is the greatest.
It is the.
This place is hell.
I think many.
this place is the worst." It's never like
being a Dolphins fan is hell. So keep going though.
it's never just, hey,
I want to die.
yes, he is so like
yeah.
this or that. And so you say,
got
"I've
me.
never had Bailey's." He's like, "But it's the best."
It is.
He's just so extreme all the
Big
time.
Sky, you had Bailey's before?
I have not had Bailey's before.
See, thank you. Why
Sip,
aren't you
you're a Bailey's guy.
crucifying him?
I've had it.
And
It's wonderful.
He's a margarita man. He
Bailey's is
doesn't
one of
like
those things you
Baileys.
can, it's like the best nightcap drink because you get yourself like a little, a little Scotch glass. You put some ice in it. You pour some Bailey's. You need nothing else. You just put Bailey's and ice. Bailey's
How
on the
about-
rocks. It's incredible.
How about you?
Try it.
We'll do this for
It's
Christmas.
like chocolate milk.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes, I celebrate.
I don't know if you
What
celebrate
kind of
different
question?
holiday.
Oh, that's a fair.
What kind of question?
What?
No, that's good.
Thank you. I didn't know if you're
I celebrate Christmas.
okay. So we will get little mason
Did
jars.
you think he was Jewish?
I was just
Does he
checking.
look Jewish?
Am I Buddhist or something to you?
No one looks Jewish. They are Jewish. Like,
You can look, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna
stop, you guys.
I'm
This
stopping.
is a nice show. Do you-
We're doing fine.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Yeah, we're fine.
so we'll make like jars of drinks, mixed drinks, and we'll
Jars of
give them to
drinks.
each What?
His response: jars of drinks.
Like a mason jar.
Why mason jar?
What do you
Is
want
that
it
a
to
South
be?
Dakota thing? Are you a bootlegger?
Get some moonshine.
Is your dad a bootlegger?
Cold brew by morning and moonshine by night.
Is that what- Dude, Big Sky, why jar? Can you help? Is there some kind of history here?
Jars are in right now. The mason jar is the trendy.
That's been in for like years.
yeah,
Then this
yeah.
is like not new. How long can the trend last for?
The mason jar is sustaining for some time.
They're reusable.
Yeah.
People like them.
Why a mason jar? Why a
Well,
jar of
it's-
alcohol? A
so-
jar? That's for like canned pickles and stuff like that.
You do this in
I do have a jar of canned pickles in my fridge right now.
you have a dirt basement that you're doing this in?
Why stop laughing, Jake? Act like an adult.
I can't. Got a dirt basement floor. We got a phone call over there.
Oh, what do you think they want?
I don't know. Probably want to know about this mason jar
Why we
gift
why we
bag we're
sharing
doing.
They probably want to know about Nebraska football, and
No,
I
I
don't
doubt
want
they
to
do.
talk about it
No.
because it's depressing.
I think they want to talk about mason jars for Christmas.
Sue me. I'm creative. Sip, I'll get you a margarita one.
I need to see his reaction on that live again. I'm gonna go watch the replay of this. See his reaction to
It
jars.
was really good. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Nebraska football.
Well, we talk about other things.
How are your columns doing tracking wise? Because
Ooh, there you
sometimes
go.
question
Good.
because sometimes with TV, people don't really care.
No, I'm not sensing that at all. I mean, the numbers are good. The traffic's good. I mean, I think people. Well, first of all,
Was that
it's
a
kind of
decent
a heated.
question?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a heated debate right now. It's become that a little bit. So, I would say this: there's a lot of vitriol. I mean,
Great. Another word I don't know. Can you
Big
guys
Sky?
I'm familiar with vitriol, and I could use it
in a sentence?
the same way that Sip did, but I could not define it for you.
Turmoil, angst,
kind of heated
Why
turmoil.
don't you use normal words? This is the radio. These are not columns. Is there someone on the phone?
That's the reason why we
There
have
is
word
someone
of the
on
day.
the phone. Yeah, Sip is a man of many words.
Okay, who is it? Let's go to them.
Rudy. Rudy is on the Honda of Lincoln hotline.
All right, Rudy, go ahead.
Stop picking on the call. Go to bed.
Yes.
Are we picking on her?
I don't think I was picking on Rudy. I appreciate the phone call though.
Yeah, thank you, Rudy.
We laughed at the idea of a mason jar.
Wait, was that it? That was the call?
That's all mason. Yeah.
Yeah, they're defending me.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Rudy
Sip.
is appreciated.
This is what I would say. I would say you need to go on Pinterest.com
Okay.
on your phone when you go home tonight
Okay.
and just scroll.
Okay.
See what comes up because it's past Halloween, so it's all Christmassy now.
Okay.
And there should see how many mason jars you count.
Do you have a board that we could look at, maybe?
I'm not going to release that.
You definitely have a
You can
board
tell
that we
me.
could look at.
You have a Pinterest board?
Pinterest.
Pinterest.
It's not a peninsula. It's Pinterest.
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 All right. Hey, I mean, I always read it that way. Pinterest.
You read it
Stop
as
it.
Pinterest? Why is that the
Pinterest.
case? Because of like Panera Bread, is that right?
Like your interest.
Okay.
You're pinning your interest.
got it.
Pinterest.
Nicole.
Pinterest.
Nicole, I'm 55. I mean, that's not I don't spend my time on that.
But this is your homework. And
Okay.
I want you to do that.
Pinterest.
So that you're not so surprised when I bring up mason jars.
Okay.
You guys are like little boys
Yes.
right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
We're dudes.
We're past our bedtime.
We're dudes. I mean, dudes don't get on Pinterest.
Stop.
Right.
Now it's not funny.
Right.
I have a Pinterest account.
No, you don't.
I use it to go look. So there's a lot of images that I needed for school projects that
Okay.
are on Pinterest. So
Okay.
that's why I had an account.
That makes
so
sense.
so I could get to those things. And then there's some Star Wars stuff on there that I would look at, but
Yeah.
I don't frequent.
Shouldn't it be called Pinterest, by the way?
No, stop.
It's a play on word, Sip.
It's not-
Pinterest.
I try to back you up on this stuff. I don't think so on this one. Pinterest.
Okay, thank
You're Pinterested in it.
No, I'm not going to get on there. Probably it's just you. I get the jar thing. I do.
No, you don't.
I get it.
4 minutes ago, you said, why a jar? Why are we still talking about this?
I
thought
think
it was
we
hilarious.
need Sip to make an account and have a board with at least 10 pins
Okay.
by next Monday.
What do you think they would be?
I don't think you know how to even do that.
What do you mean I wouldn't know how to do it?
Without, I want you to go on Pinterest without any instruction at all of how to do it.
Okay, so
and get 10 pins.
Pinterest.com for you start there, right?
Yeah, but no one's going to help you. No,
Okay.
no, you got no help.
And then from there,
Stop asking. We're not helping.
This is,
I think I'd have to do is
no help from Trixie, no
Google-
help from Parker, nobody.
right.
Parker's not on Pinterest. Maybe actually
I
because
bet
he was
Parker's
getting
on Pinterest.
because he was getting married.
Yeah,
I bet Parker's a
Yeah,
Pinterest guy.
yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what that even means, but I'm going to
I'm
guess
gonna
he
text
is.
him right now.
Yeah,
Parker could walk me through it very quickly.
But he's not allowed to for this,
right,
the sake of
Exercise.
this exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out yourself.
Yeah. No, that's the sort of things you should have me do.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna text him. My assumption is right now. You can say, "Do you believe Parker Gabriel, your colleague, the Journal Star, is on Pinterest or not?"
It is sent. See
yes.
how long it takes
Yes,
him to
he is.
respond.
Okay, so you agree with me,
Yes.
Big Sky?
I think Parker probably has a Pinterest.
Wait, so we're all going three.
Wait, you said yes too?
Yeah.
I was the one who said yes to begin with.
I didn't say it. I said, oh, you all three said yes.
Yeah. What are you on here?
I am not responding because I'm going to see his answer.
But you can tell us your response
how
before
fast? How is he a rapid texter?
Yeah, he usually
I bet
is.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
usually is.
Well, we're
Well,
waiting.
maybe-
And he's, you know what? He's batching it right now too. His, I don't think he minds me saying on the radio. His his new wife is off in California, and he's by himself.
And he's not listening to the show right now?
Maybe he is. He might be.
It's been 29 seconds and he hasn't responded.
Might be asleep.
Maybe he's Johnny from the West Side. We should text the.
Oh
check the
yeah,
text line.
Johnny from the West Side. Yes, might
I
be
gave
that.
no context. I just said, "Are you a Pinterest guy?" He'll probably just be like,
Well, okay, so we're
Well, now
what's
that's
the,
not a fair question.
Yeah, the
then.
question's different.
"What's the question?"
You should say, "Are you on Pinterest?"
Yeah, because Pinterest guy is like somebody who loves Pinterest.
That's right.
No, I take that as, "Are you on it or not?"
Good point, Big Sky.
Well, I think people take it differently, Nicole.
I think Parker is educated enough to know that means, "Are you on it or not?"
I think you'll see it with the nuance that the rest of us see.
I agree.
All right, we're going to take a break.
That's girl brain and guy brain.
We
think
are,
differently.
we
just
are
think
going
differently.
to be done this hour. Thank you, Sip and Jake, for coming on.
Oh, thank you very much.
It was
Do
fun.
you have a good time?
Yeah, I'm getting a mason jar out for Christmas right now.
Shut up.
That was an incredible
Shut up,
time.
Sipple. That was supposed to be. I didn't know how to
Whoa.
say it because I
You
needed
did.
to
That's
get
it. You did the game show.
I did.
Miss you.
We do have a game show in my show, but I lose every time, so nothing's different. You lose
every-
Monday.
Yeah.
You lose today.
You're
a
a loser.
Do you lose every time?
Yes.
Did she lose?
Big
really?
Sky goes, "This West Coast town." I go, "Virginia."
Wrong coast.
It wasn't that long ago. You were in school.
Remember when you thought Montana was
That
the
was
four
bad.
corners?
That was bad. A very bad moment. That was low.
I'm really sad that it's taken Parker over 1 minute to text me back.
Don't take that. You take things real personally. Just don't worry about it. He might get back. He might get back to you tomorrow.
Maybe he's showering or something.
Do you think I took that really personally?
You
I'm
tend
just
to.
What if he's? Hey! I'm getting out of here.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
getting out of here.
You're fine.
I just saw a scowl of scowls.
Did you
We
see-
are done
Did you see
with
her
the-
point to the door?
the first hour. Sip and Jake, welcome, goodbye. Take a break.
We'll be back here soon.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes 1-on-1 with Husker Online Sean Callahan at 3, and Jay joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Ohio State game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
With their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. So where do we go from here after Saturday's disappointing loss to the hands of Purdue? Players like JoJo Dolman are still searching for answers.
I don't know, man. This hurts. Hard to put into words right now. Honestly, I need to sleep on this. It's play to win the game. You know, you've seen the guy up here say it. Like, that's why we out there. It hurts. I'm in pain right now. I don't really have the words to describe it other than that.
And still, over 85,000 people were in Memorial Stadium for the game on Saturday to watch now the 3-6 Huskers. Head coach Scott Frost says he feels the fans' pain.
I'm grateful to the fans. I'm grateful for an opportunity to coach my alma mater. I'm impatient to have these games turn out a different way. I'm grateful to the fan base. I was just as frustrated as them in the second half.
Huskers are now set to play Ohio State at 11 a.m. Saturday on Fox. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Guys, we need to talk about a problem plaguing our society today: chronic fruitcake slander. Now, maybe you're thinking, I've had fruitcake. It's dry and heavy. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're eating the wrong fruitcake, because Grandma's fruitcake is anything but. Their recipe uses the highest quality fruits, hand-sorted nuts, and adds the perfect amount of brandy, bourbon, and rum. Their desserts are known and loved across the country, and they're made right here in Southeast Nebraska. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. and can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsrats.com. Bats Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights.
Okay, here's the deal with Nicole.
Live from Copple Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
She's just going to tell it like it is.
Nicole is, she's very wise.
Sometimes you're not going to like it.
Here is your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome into the second hour of Ticket Weeknight with Nicole Griffith. I am Nicole Griffith, and my headphone is all sorts of messed up. There we go. Okay. It's been an entertaining show to start. The first hour, we tried to talk about Nebraska football, and it didn't really go anywhere, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's Big Sky and I in the studio. And then Connor Happer is out tonight. He is at the women's basketball exhibition. They're playing Midland tonight at 7:30. Not on TV, I believe, so you can go and watch that if you're looking for something to do. But we had an entertaining first hour. You can go back and listen to it on YouTube Live and Rewind, or when this podcast drops. We had Sip and Jake on for 2 segments, and it was great to be back with them. I kind of got my start at the Ticket with them, being on there, being a guest on the Monday morning hour, or the hour from 7 to 8 on early break. And then so they came in and BS'd around a little bit with me, and it was really fun. And you should go back and listen to it because we talk about mason jars as gifts. Sip doesn't understand the concept of a mason jar. So if you see him in public or tweet at him, make fun of him for that. We also talked a little bit about football, the Adrian question, just the performance that they had, the performance Husker football had, and then how much of it was on Adrian, and then also debating between, are you if you're a Frost supporter, are you an Adrian supporter, are you one way or the other? So yeah, it's been a pretty entertaining show that's gone a lot of ways, and my stomach is, we laughed a lot in that first hour, so stomach hurts. Big Sky, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
It was good to see Sip again. I have not seen him in a while.
Yeah,
I see Jake every day though.
Yeah, it's not that great to see Jake, right?
That's not
Just kidding,
that's not what
Jake.
I mean.
Just kidding. Relax. He's gonna get mad that I said that. So, do we have our guest on the phone?
We do.
Okay. So our second, is he technically our second guest or our third guest?
I would say third.
Okay. We have our third guest on the line joining us. It is BC of 24/7. BC, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Third guest on the Tonight Show. That's the guy who gets bumped at the end.
No. You are starting the whole hour.
Oh, that's true. All right.
So, question.
I'll look at it that way.
Where are your dogs in relation to you right now?
Hopefully you can hear me all right. I don't get the best reception. I'm in my driveway, and I had to step outside the house because I have 2 idiot dogs. I love them.
Don't say that.
So I don't want anyone to come at me, but they're idiots. There's no doubt about it. And they're ruining my yard, and they're noisy, and so I'm in my driveway. I can see them looking at me.
Isn't that
through
a
the window,
direct?
though. They're very loving.
Aren't your dogs? What is it? Attitude is a direct something to leadership.
I mean, Brian's
reflection.
BC is either coaching it or allowing it.
Yes, Brian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like Husker football goes back to the head man, I guess training dogs does too.
What kind of dogs are they?
One is a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
What
very
is
fast dog.
that?
He's about 55 pounds. His name's Rhodey. And then there's Ronnie, who is, I don't know what he is. He's like a Shiba Inu / German Shepherd /
I want a
something mix.
German. Did you rescue them?
Yes, both are rescue dogs, yes.
Wow, amazing. Things you didn't think you would talk to me about, but here we are. So, first question, not more importantly, your dogs were more important, but so going back to Nebraska's game against Purdue, I know that we've already had like the press conferences today and they're kind of moving forward to Ohio State, but right now, processing the Purdue game, were you shocked that that's how it played out in a must-win game after a bye, coming off a loss before the bye? That's what happened?
I wouldn't say shocked, just because I mean there's sort of a pattern with Husker football where you expect every game to sort of go down to the last 5 minutes, and most of those games they've been on the wrong end of. And so until they prove that they can make that extra play or two that they always speak of, you sort of, when you see that result, it's all too familiar. And that, I think that's the way the fan base is right now. I've covered the program long enough to have seen some of these seasons where people are just flat out angry about how it's going. And I know there are some people that are that way, but as much as anything, people have gotten kind of used to it, which is a tough place to be, for a football program. So when when people are filing out there with 5 minutes left or something, it's sort of like, okay, it's this story again. I'm sad about it, but I've seen it. I'll move on with my day. And so that's the scary part to me about Husker football, is that I mean, growing up in this state, when Nebraska would lose a game, it was like, will the sun come up tomorrow? And now there's just sort of you're used to it, and you gotta fight through that, because even Frost said it. I mean, losing sort of begets losing, and winning is a habit too, and they got the wrong habit right now.
Yeah, dude, that was one of my questions, is like, do people, it's kind of a blanket statement, but it's like, do people even care anymore? Yes, they do. And Husker Nation cares, but it's like, sometimes we notice it in TV, is like, we clip a lot of the press conferences and like good sound bites and put them on Twitter and whatnot. And it's like, they get more traction after wins than they do after losses. People just care more. They don't want to be like, oh, well, let's watch the breakdown of this game after we already know the breakdown of the game because it was a loss. Is it the fan base is just feeling a lot of like apathy?
That always comes up. I don't think that's the case. I think people still, even the person who says like on Thursday, I'm not watching this week, I'm not going to watch it. I have a feeling, I could be wrong, I have no data on this, but I have a feeling that 90 to 95% of those people or more end up watching at least a while, and then at some point they get angry enough, maybe they shut it off or whatever. I do think you're right. When they lose, we do sometimes get hate clicks, we call them. Like when they lose, we get a lot of traffic off people, I guess, just mad, and they want to spout off about
the dangerous
comments.
Twitter that it becomes.
Yeah. But I definitely do think there's truth to the fact that there's a lot of people right after a loss, they're sort of like, I got to get away from this. And I think, unfortunately, it kind of wrecks for some people the rest of the football season. I know people like that, where when Nebraska is not doing well, it kind of makes them not want to watch the Saturday night game, Penn State, Ohio State, or whatever. You're just like, I got to get away from this sport a little bit. And so that's kind of an unfortunate part of it. You got to admire that this fan base is still mostly filling up that stadium for what they've seen for what is going on now, 5 losing seasons in a row. That's a incredible feat compared to the rest of the country. So there's still that going on. But it's become a usual thing of seeing the team come up short. Everybody's got an opinion and everybody's neighbor's got an opinion, but the key now is what's Trev Albert's opinion, and he's played it pretty close to the vest.
Do you think his son's wedding had an open bar? Is my question.
I would guess it probably did, and I would guess that it's probably a hefty bill this week, probably even more so after the loss. But yeah, imagine that. I guess from what I'm told, the wedding started when Nebraska was like ahead at half, and I don't know how dialed in Trev was. I'm sure he didn't peek at his phone during the ceremony or anything, but afterward you look down and it's like 28-17 in the fourth quarter. That's got to be kind of a rough situation to see on your phone.
How about, this is Brian Christopherson joining us of 24/7 Sports. How about big noon kickoff coming? The decision came down late Saturday night after the Ohio State Penn State was done. I guess I'm kind of having flashbacks. I know it was College Game Day from 2019 with Ohio State, and it was a night game, but just big noon kickoff. Nebraska's 3-6. Ohio State, it just looks like a recipe for Ohio State to just have a blowout game, and then Nebraska's on like national TV. Is that, or do the players, put some fight into it and put up a respectable score with that?
I actually think they'll put up a respectable score. I think they could lose. I think they'll lose by double digits. That would be my prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they make Ohio State fight for it. I'd actually be a little bit worried if I were Ryan Day from their angle of it's an early kick. You're just coming off. I know Penn State's kind of scuffling right now, but that was a primetime game and there's a lot of attention on it. And you're going up against a team that right now is 3-6, and everybody's probably thinking, well, they're done dealing. The one thing you'd have to say about this team, this Nebraska team, is I do think players they keep coming back to work, and I don't think they have like a fractured locker room, which is sort of unusual for, usually when there's a season like this, you can say, well, the locker room is kind of broken up and there's just all these off the field sidebars happening. I don't think that's really the case with this team. It's just a fact of every week they find something else to get in their way. And this last week it was the 4 turnovers. So if they can if the turnover game is about even, I think Ohio State's defense, I think, does have a few warts on it compared to some past years. I think Nebraska could get a little bit done there. And I want to see the Husker defense that was sort of firing on all cylinders a few games ago, like Northwestern and Michigan State. That was a black shirts unit they look like a top 10 defense. And I think sort of under the radar, kind of lost between all the Scott Frost and Adrian Martinez talk, I think the defense has been just a step off of what they were. They did not have a great Saturday by any means. They couldn't get off the field, and we're giving up too much in the run game to a Purdue team that really had struggled to run the ball coming in. So that's a big question to me, is can that side of the ball against an Ohio State offense that's starting to pick it up, can they keep Nebraska in the game and maybe get a turnover or two? And if you get that early, maybe there's a little belief, and who knows, but I don't think it's going to be a rout. I would say Ohio State by like 14 or so.
Mm-hmm. And then how would you say, like, you expect the word vomit going back to this locker room being very tight and tight knit, and when is kind of that fine line of like the players giving in And you kind of have the side that's like, why are we like, they just don't want to.
Yeah.
They just don't want to do it anymore. But then you still have the players who like won't give in and want to, as Adrian said today, you're just kind of playing for some pride still. How do you believe that they won't pack it in when they've come out flat against Minnesota and then Purdue off a bye in must-win, need to win games?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question, and you're right to point out they do seem to be tight knit. That the Minnesota first half is still the one that's like makes me shake my head. It's like how did that? I know they were coming off that Michigan game and it was emotional and all that, but they knew what was at stake. They knew they had a bye coming, so there is that on the resume. And second half, really the first half against Minnesota, second half against Purdue, have shaped the narrative of this season in such a negative way, where if you had put it together for those quarters, we'd have a whole different discussion right now. You were in the room, I think, after the game, and I mean, Doman gave that kind of passionate talk, and I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker for it, but I did think it was genuine, and I kind of bought into the idea that it is a close group. And I think the super seniors and sort of the leadership at the top with the captain are why I give them a fighting chance to not fold the tents. I mean, that would be the reason, I guess, I'd give. But I mean, they got to go prove it. I think it also helps that it's Ohio State, like it's sort of, you have to sulk on Sunday, but then you're like, okay, we're playing Ohio State. I mean, how many times in your career do you get to do that? For this team, they've done it every year. But I mean, you get 4 games against Ohio State in your career. Those are helmet games that you should live for as a college football player. I'd like to look at it like I would think most of these guys, if they're playing a pickup game of basketball in their driveway, they want to beat their buddy and they get ultra competitive, or they're that way if they're playing Scrabble. So I would hope they're that way if Ohio State's helmet is sitting across from them.
Mm-hmm. And it's a home game. So the next 3 games, final question for you. Which one does Nebraska have the best chance at winning?
Well, I think it's Iowa. I mean, I think Iowa's, when they're not having teams turn it over 5 times against them, we're seeing that Iowa's offense is completely in the dumpster. And, really that's an offense that was benefiting from a defense that was having them have to go like 10 or 15 yards for touchdowns early on in the season. When that disappears, and there's no saying that would disappear against Nebraska, Nebraska would have to play a clean game, which is a big ask. But I would say Nebraska matches up pretty well with Iowa, and what tells us that is the last few years. I mean, when they've played Iowa, the record has been decidedly skewed Iowa's way, and yet those games have all gone down to the last second. So I see no reason this one couldn't as well. I think Wisconsin is gettable too, in the fact that they got a great defense, and that's going to be the hard part. But I think their QB plays pretty suspect, and they don't have the same O-line they've had in the past. So there is the possibility to make a little run after the bye if guys are still motivated. But, that's really what they're going to have to do. I don't know what the future is for the head coach and for this program at this moment. What could satisfy the fan base, even if you didn't make a bowl game? I would say maybe it would be somehow bucking the odds and winning 2 of these 3 games, which I don't think most people would say is going to happen. So if you did that, and on Black Friday we're saying, oh, they won 2 of the 3 against Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin, that would change the conversation in a big way if you think about it at that moment. But that's a lot to ask. So, this Saturday you got to go out there and you got to make Ohio State earn it. And if they do that, people are tired of Nebraska coming close, but this would be a game more so where I think people just want to see them go fight for 4 quarters and have it be a game.
That's Brian Christopherson. Thanks, BC, for the time. We appreciate the insight. And that's all I have for you. So go hang out with your dogs.
All right. That sounds good. Thanks for having me, Nicole.
Yep. Thank you. Brian Christopherson of 24/7 Sports. Good stuff from BC, like always. A little insight into football. I wanted to talk to him about basketball. We didn't even talk about basketball. Maybe I should call him back. We won't do that. But I originally was like, we're going to talk about football in the first hour, so let's talk about basketball because BC was at the I can't say the word. Exhibition.
Yes.
Yes. Exhibition against Colorado. Apparently Nebraska basketball looks like the dream team. But we shall see. Did you go?
To either the basketball game exhibitions?
Yeah.
No, on Sunday I was with my father.
You didn't want to take him to that? It's for charity.
And I went. I had to go to church as well.
That's true.
And then on Wednesday, I was the Badge and I were the programming on the station during that one. So. Yes. So I have not had an opportunity to see the basketball team either time.
Same.
In fact, DP made Badge and I start 30 minutes early so that he could go to the basketball game. So we had to go for 2.5 hours instead of 2.
Hey, all the content.
That's right.
Well, we are going to take a break, and we will be back after this.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dan has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's Downtown Spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P. Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hard-working, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street. You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
This is a Broncos Radio Network update.
Touchdown, Denver! How about that? I like that! Heineke drops the throw. Pressure. He steps away from pressure, throws the ball to the end zone. It is intercepted by Justin Simmons, and he's got a foot race. He holds the ball up in his left hand, knocked out of bounds with a penalty flag thrown.
Broncos insider Brandon Cristal, Dave Logan's call, that Simmons INT, his second of the game, you thought sealed the win for the Broncos, but they would give the ball back courtesy of a Melvin Gordon fumble and have to make one more defensive stand.
Denver rushes 4 again. Heineke steps on the pocket, loads it up, home run ball. This is going to be out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete with no time left. Let me make sure it is over in Denver.
The Broncos 17-10 winners over Washington Sunday, improved to 4-4 on the year. Melvin Gordon a pair of touchdowns. Without Von Miller, the Broncos still sacked Washington QB Taylor Heineke 5 times. Denver travels to Dallas next Sunday.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffith.
This music always makes me feel like I'm on a tropical vacation. And I'm not, and I'm sad about it because I turned on the heat today. I made it all the way to November. I said I wasn't going to do it in October, and I turned on the heat. And I'm sad.
Well, apparently natural gas prices are going up 40% this year.
Cool.
Yes, so you should
Thanks.
you should strive to keep the heat off as much as possible.
I'm a small person, and I am cold a lot. So sad day, but fun show. Nicole Griffith. Why do I talk like that? Like third person? I'm Nicole Griffith, and I'm with Big Sky, and this is the Ticket Weeknights, and we are here with you for 25 more minutes, I'd say, and then we're done.
For another week.
Yes, we're not done forever. Been a fun show so far. Had Sip and Jake on. That was fun. They were sitting right here, and now they're gone. They will be back here at 5:45 a.m. So we appreciate them coming on. And then you can listen to the show. You can go back and watch the replays. And then Brian Christopherson, 24/7 Sports, came on to talk basketball, but I didn't ask him any questions about basketball. I only asked him about football. And as soon as he hung up, I remembered I needed to talk to him about basketball. So, whoops. But you can listen to the show. You can watch it live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, and also on wherever you get your podcast. Because now my show is a podcast.
It is. Yes, we have the ability to podcast it now.
And Big Sky clips them all. So download them so he gets credit for doing his job.
At the station, vocabulary-wise, clipping is different than podcasting. I don't think I've clipped your show once.
I just agree to agree.
Yes, Nicole.
Thank you.
I do that.
Thank you. Okay, Big Sky, you were at the game with your father.
I was until I was one of those people.
One of those people who left early, which there was a lot. Sometimes, like during basketball games, I think people are leaving early, but it's like a media timeout in volleyball, so they're like going to the bathroom or like going to the concessions. That was not the case with football. So your dad said, I want to leave. Do you want to leave? Or I'm ready. Are you ready?
Essentially, yes. Those were the words that came out of my father's mouth. And I said, you know what? Let's give them another drive, see if they can do anything, and then we'll reevaluate. They went 3 and out.
Do you identify with being a fair weather fan?
No.
Then how do you justify you leaving early?
Well, my dad didn't want to be there any longer, and he only gets to come to Lincoln every once in a while. He really likes some of the Haymarket venues, and I knew he was itching to go.
Oh, like for food?
Right.
Yeah.
And I still showed up to the game, and I mean, I'm still.
You were late to the game. You left
I was
early
late
for the game.
I was late because of my job.
That's fair. It's fair.
And I'm not going to stop being a fan or claiming to be a fan of the Huskers when they are bad.
This is not to cause a tissy. This is just a question.
I know. I'm just explaining why I'm not a Fairweather fan.
There we go. Yep. I'm just saying for the text line and for the people listening.
I don't know if this does. The text line can let us know at 402-464-5685 if this makes me a Fairweather fan, but I do lean a little bit more heavily into my Montana Grizzly fandom when the Huskers do poorly.
How are the Grizzlies doing?
They're kind of a better version. They're the Bo Pelini Huskers.
They're Big Sky, right?
Yeah, Big Sky Conference. They win most of the games they should, and then they'll lose a real head scratcher, and you'll just be angry for a week. And they did that against Sacramento State 2 weeks ago.
Sacramento State.
The Hornets.
I think I have a friend there. Is it in Fresno?
I'm not sure where it's. Well, it's in Sacramento.
Or no?
Sacramento State.
Oh, duh.
Are you thinking Fresno State?
Maybe.
Bulldogs.
Maybe that's who it is.
That's where Derek Carr and David Carr went. Devontae Adams as well.
You're a genius. How do you know so much?
Well, Devontae Adams plays for the Packers.
How do you feel about Von Miller getting traded?
So I actually
hard transfer. I saw that today. Check on your Broncos fans. They are not well. The Ticket, the home of the Broncos home games, but it's the end of an era. I texted one of my friends who lives in Colorado, and he's sad. It's very sad.
I actually got the opportunity to reveal to a Broncos fan that it happened. I was sitting in class, and we weren't doing much in my broadcast journalism class. And I just said, "Whoa, Von Miller got traded." And the Broncos fan went through the first 4 stages of grief in 30 seconds. It was pretty incredible.
What are they? Denial?
Let me pull up the graphic real quick. Because
denial, regret, acceptance is the last one, right? Refusal? No, that's denial.
Okay, so he's got 5 stages of grief in the graphic that he tweeted, and it goes denial, anger, bargaining, and depression.
What's bargaining?
Bargaining is the what if stage of grief, and it serves an important purpose. It provides temporary escape from pain, provides hope, and gives a person time to adjust to the reality of the situation. But it's totally accurate, because the very first thing out of his mouth was no way. And then he immediately started looking at his phone. So
and then you're like, how would I make that up? How would I think to say those two those two? Von Miller traded. How would you think to say that in a sentence without it being real? You know?
Yeah, I'm not a prankster like that.
I'm not smart enough. Like when people when I say something to Sip, he'll be like, "That's not true," and I'm like, why would I say that?
And in the moment, I'd forgotten he was a Broncos fan. I was aware he was a Broncos fan,
but
I wasn't aware in the moment. I was just like, "Yo, this is big sports news, and you are interested in sports, and we talk about sports every day." Von Miller got traded for nothing.
Where'd the chips go?
Jake put them away.
What?
They've been gone for like 45 minutes.
Did I?
I have some Triscuits if you'd like.
No, it's okay. I'll survive. We're all over the place on this show, which is fine. Happer's not here. I almost called him Connor. Connor Happer's not here, and I feel like I'm like missing my pal. Don't tell him I said that. I also complimented Jake and Sip today. Like, what is going on with me? I'm supposed to be.
It's the captain.
It's the captain. I'm just really nice today, and I'm not usually really nice. I think I'm trying to overcompensate for the fact that the Huskers are 3-6.
I don't think you need to do that.
Well, I'm trying to be extra nice because I know people's feelings are very hurt right now.
I just about said something that would really fired people off, but I'll tell you in the break because I'm not going to say it live on air.
Interesting. Ooh, I love that.
It's not that spicy.
Like mild or medium? On a scale of death nut to mild.
Mild. It's pretty mild, but it would.
Did you have the death nut or the
somebody.
one chip?
I did one chip, the same as Buzzy. Buzzy puked. I did not.
Weak, Buzzy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Buzzy, you're weak. I hope you're listening to this. I know he listens.
Well, the whole
sometimes.
reason he did the challenge was because he heard me talking about it on air with Nick, and he told me that I was weak and to man up, and I said, "Hey, you can do the chip if you want."
And then he threw up.
And he couldn't. He underestimated the chip, just like everybody does their first time, because it was my second time. So
Do you chew the chip or you eat it whole? How big is it?
it's probably the largest tortilla chip I've
I'm
ever seen.
assuming it looks like a Pringle.
No, it's a triangle tortilla chip. And it's a pretty good size. It's stale. They're stale. They taste terrible, and
they taste terrible.
You have to chew it, or else you wouldn't be able to swallow it because it's a giant tortilla chip, and so it has to sit on your tongue for at least, I'd say, 30 seconds.
Ew.
Yeah, it's not a pleasurable experience.
Doesn't sound like it. Circling back to leaving the game. Were a lot of people leaving when you left?
Yeah, there was a good stream.
What was the vibe like? Were you just like, hey?
Well,
yep,
I
see ya.
think it was perfectly exemplified by this little kid that I saw looking at the Bob Devaney statue on the way out, and he goes, "I think this statue could call better plays than Coach Frost." And I was like, "Whoa, hot take of the day from this 6-year-old."
Child said
Yeah.
that? Oh no.
Yeah. I thought it was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard. And mad respect for that kid. He's wearing a number 30 jersey. Can only assume that's the greatest Husker of all time, Amon Green.
Your favorite Husker of all time, or the air quote. That's your. Favorite.
It's my favorite, and so therefore it is the best. He is the best.
Okay.
And he played for the Packers, so.
I hate the Packers, so.
Well, you're a Bears fan.
That's true, and the Bears are not doing very well.
No, they're not.
No.
But yes, it was the vibe was pretty defeated, I would say.
Vibes are not immaculate.
No.
Okay. Well,
not as bad as the Ohio State game at the end of Riley's tenure. I was at that game as well, down from Montana, and the vibe wasn't funeral this weekend. It was funeral against Ohio State in 2017.
I'm so interested because I wasn't here for that yet. I came in 2019.
Well, it would have been when Fred got hired / Miles got fired. So yeah,
that's
19.
like the second week I ever started.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I felt like Frost is going to be here a while. When I first started, it was his second year, and then he got the contract extension with Moose, and then you kind of got the rumblings after Saturday's game, and people have texted me and DM'd me, and they're like, "Hey, what's the vibe? Is Scott out? Is Scott getting fired?" And I personally don't think so. I feel like it's very, just, and he's done, and that's it. That's just done. But then it's like, what's the coaching pool look like after that? For this year, you have a ton of schools that have openings. I feel like there needs to be coaching changes. If Scott stays one more year, something has to change, right? It can't. We know what's been happening the past 4 years. It's the same thing every weekend. So there needs to be some shuffle. I think Trev needs to give an ultimatum of, you can stay. We'll give it one more year. Because I always thought you judge a coach by the 5th year. That's what I've just always thought. And then, after that, but maybe, I don't know, people are fed up and they just want to be done, but.
Well, for historical context, Bill Jennings was the last coach that had a winning percentage as poor as Scott Frost, and he got 4 years before Bob Devaney in 1961 was his last year. So he was 57 to 61. He was at a 310 winning percentage. I don't have the fast facts here for the Frost win percentage, but it's in the low 30s, and he's on his 4th year. So historical context would indicate Nebraska's ready to move on. There are the external factor is that Frost is from Nebraska and was the guy when he came.
Mm-hmm. People want it to work.
Right.
It's not the best story, but it's such a great story, but it's not working and it's not going very well. We're not doing well. So positive vibes only. Volleyball lost over the weekend. So that happened. Minnesota, 5 sets. Men's basketball played an exhibition at 11 a.m. that I didn't go to.
But they won.
But they seem like they're the dream team.
I think Texter Matt says it best. First season since their last season in the Bob Devaney that I don't have men's basketball season tickets. I may regret that decision.
That's true. I mean, Fred's bar is so low. He just needs to go to the playoffs and win a playoff game.
The dance, March Madness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bar.
I mean, yeah. Which is why it's Sipple to.
And then he can ride off into the sunset, and Husker Nation will thank him for it.
Well, that's a great question. I think that we should ponder.
What's the
Going into
question?
the basketball season, or just as we assess Hoiberg's tenure, is he the greatest basketball coach Nebraska's ever seen if all he does is win a March Madness game?
That's honestly, yes, because no other coach has accomplished that.
I believe we had a team win like the NIT in the 30s or something.
Would you rather win the NIT in
Okay,
the 30s?
Back in the day, the historical context, the NIT was bigger than the March Madness tournament.
Would you rather win the NIT in the 30s or an NCAA game in the 21st century?
Well, I would witness the game in the 21st century, so that one, obviously.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see. We're going to take a break, and we're going to close out the show after this, but you can get your texts and calls in. We have about 10 more minutes, 402-464-5685, and we'll close out the show after this.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Areas of light rain will be possible late this morning into this afternoon, and it will be a cold day with a high of around 40. Winds will be light, somewhat variable. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to around 29. We'll mix in some sunshine tomorrow and warm up just a bit with a high of around 45. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season. I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show. So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win? Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience. Get your win too by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com. Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197. Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes 1-on-1 with Husker Online Sean Callahan at 3, and Jay joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Ohio State game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffith.
Welcome back in. And if you are new to listening, thank you. And for those who have been listening, also thank you. This is Nicole Griffith, your host of 1011 and also the Ticket Weeknights. I'm joined with Big Sky. Connor Happer is not here. Connor is at the women's exhibition game. Look at it, just rolling right off the tongue. I've been struggling saying the EX word, exhibition, but
just needed to get some reps.
I needed to say it like 5 times. Monday Night Football going on right now is the Giants at the Chiefs, the broken Chiefs, and I don't really think they're that broken right now because they're playing the Giants. So I can't see the score right now. It's a split screen with, when it's like the commercial, but the game is still, they're like kind of showing the game. ESPN Monday Night Football. I think there's a Manning cast tonight. I'm seeing it on Twitter, but it is 7-0 Chiefs with under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. So anyways, did that important sports knowledge stuff. 2 things I want to get to. We are going to, if you know me, you know my uninterest in fantasy football. I don't really care about it. I don't care about your teams. I don't care how they're doing, and I don't care who you should start or not start. Happer, my co-host, that's a pass interference flag, and they're not going to throw it. Oh, he caught it. That's why they're not throwing it. Okay. Anyway, so sorry. We started a bit on this show where Happer, I allow him 30 seconds to give an update on his Happer's 30-second fantasy football update, and then Big Sky also gets 30 seconds to talk about his team if he so chooses. So Happer is not here, but in typical fantasy football obsession fashion, he recorded an update. And I should bring the clock out because I don't trust you guys on 30 seconds. Okay. This is Happer's 30-second update. Go now.
Another bad one for the non-binary potato heads who have scored 58.92 points this week en route to another loss to the Dan Wagon to fall to 1-7. Trevor Lawrence is horrible. Odell Beckham Jr. is horrible. Even my good players, Leonard Fournette, is horrible. The only redeeming quality is a DK Metcalf 2-touchdown game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. There is no hope. Everything. Go Big Potatoes.
Wait, he did not say that. He just put the bleep in there for fun.
I have that source from Nick Sainert himself that was an authentic F-bomb that he had to bleep in post.
Happer! Are you trying to sabotage my show?
Well, it was bleeped, so it's okay.
Yeah. That's funny. Good stuff. Okay. Big Sky, would you like to give your 30-second update?
Certainly.
Okay, hang on. This is you have 2 teams. One of them's not really a team anymore.
I'm not going to talk about them.
What are the names again?
Fighting Big Sam's is the team I don't talk about, and Dumpster Fire is my good team.
Okay. And ready, set, go.
Dumpster Fire made waves across the league when they traded for Antonio Brown and David Montgomery for Derek Carr, a waiver pickup, and Damian Harris. Both Montgomery and Antonio Brown were on IR this week, but once they come back, we'll have a strong squad. Derrick Henry did go down with a fractured foot, so that's going to be a tough replacement for the squad. But we got the win this week, 93-75, and we'll improve to 6-2 and be number 2 in the league next week.
Wow, with 2 seconds to spare. Good job. Okay, I don't care. Moving forward, on the fly with Big Sky. Are we going to play that still?
We can. I have 3 questions for you.
Okay, so should we like open this up to listeners? Like shut up, Sipple?
I'll have to dump a couple commercials if somebody wants to play, but we certainly could.
Okay, let's not do that. We pushed it too late.
Okay.
We'll do that next time. For the future, on the fly with Big Sky, we can bring in a guest to play against me. Actually, I probably want them on my team because Happers beat me 2-0. So I will be playing. I will be also playing the role of Happer, and I get 2 guesses.
Okay.
This is On the Fly with Big Sky.
All right. The quick on the fly, because we got a minute left. A little over 3 years ago, a utility worker in this DMV state won $2 million from a scratch-off lottery ticket. Turns out his luck has not run out. He won another $2 million.
I saw that headline. No, DMV, Maryland.
Correct.
Heck yes.
A southeastern couple who bought lottery tickets in 11 states during a recent road trip won a $2 million Powerball prize from Virginia.
Wait, what?
You have to guess their state. They're from the southeast.
And they won it in Virginia?
Yes, they won $2 million in Virginia.
Southeast. Georgia.
No, North Carolina. Police in this West Coast state responded to reports of an otter in need of assistance.
California.
That is correct.
Yes, I win. Victorious. Victory is mine. This has been a great show. Hopefully next week I'm talking to you about a Husker win. Probably will be volleyball. So see you guys next week.
There's not many things worse than having